Now I'd like to share with you the procedure for placing hydrogel surface electrodes on the patient. This will involve first choosing the location to place the electrodes, then prepping the skin, connecting the cables, and finally testing the impedance, which measures the connectivity of the electrodes to the patient. So first, to begin, show you a typical hydrogel pouch. It's a foil pouch, and these are non-sterile product. Rip it open, and inside you're going to find your hydrogels and a sanding pad. You'll also need an alcohol wipe that can be found typically in the anesthesia cart in the operating room. Once then you identify the muscles that you plan to monitor during the surgery, you can begin to prep the skin over the area that you're going to place the electrodes. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to be using the muscle of my forearm, and I'll be placing the electrodes 1, 2, 3 along my forearm. Step 1 then to place the electrodes is to take this sanding pad and do 10 swipes in the spot where you plan to place the electrode. Second place here, I'm going to do 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Note that as I swipe this, it's picking up a white film. That's the exfoliated skin on the pad. It's evidence that I'm doing what I want to be doing, which is clearing that old skin off of the surface. So as you proceed, you can turn the sanding pad and use a fresh corner for a new spot. This prepping is a very important step to make sure that the electrodes adhere properly. The next step is to alcohol wipe that area. This removes any remaining oils and skin after the sanding. So you can see I'm thoroughly wiping down that area and then allowing it to dry before applying the electrodes. Okay, now locating the electrodes that I pulled from the foil pouch, grab them near the adhesive electrode area by the wire and peel them away from this clear backing that they adhere to and ship. And I go ahead and place one electrode there. I'm going to place that one in the middle. Another one out here where I sanded. And the third one over here. Okay, so these electrode lead wires then will get plugged into the cable assembly of the Nirvana that's labeled EMG. And this in turn is plugged into the back of the Nirvana machine in a spot clearly marked EMG. So with that cable plugged in, I now snap these into position. Red goes into the red. It's a red color coded port. Green into green. And finally, blue snapping into blue. So with the electrodes on my arm now and plugged into the Nirvana, I can check their impedance, which is the connectivity of the electrodes to my forearm. Turning the power button on and making sure that the signal amplification is at 100%, I will now hold the test button. And I'm going to hold it for at least 6 seconds. When I release, 3 numbers get flashed across the screen. What you want to do after you record those numbers is then compare them to the impedance guidelines for hydrogel electrodes that's listed on top of the box. Ideally, your impedances should all be under 20 kiloohms. Thank you.